You're not losing focus. You're being hunted. How often are you interrupted? Count how many times today something pulled your attention away from what you chose to do. Not what happened to you. What you chose. Your phone. A notification. An email. A thought about checking something. Someone else's urgency becoming yours. Now count how many times you returned to depth and actually stayed there. The number is destroying you. You think the problem is that you have bad focus, weak discipline, a scattered mind that can't hold attention like it used to. You've tried the apps, the timers, the productivity systems. You've beaten yourself up for failing at something that feels like it should be simple. Just pay attention. Just stay with one thing. But you're not failing. You're being farmed. Tiberian Valensis once told a student who complained of restlessness, "You believe you lack control." You're half right. You lack control because you've handed the reins to forces you cannot see. The student didn't understand. Most don't. Because the trap is invisible until you know where to look. Here's what's actually happening. Every platform, every device, every service you use for free, you're not the customer. You're the product. And the product they're selling is your attention. Not selling it to you, selling it away from you. There are rooms full of engineers, psychologists, designers. Their entire job is to interrupt you, to create compulsion loops, to make you check, to fragment your focus into pieces so small you forget what it feels like to think deeply about anything. You're not broken. You're being broken, systematically, by design. And the cruelest part? You blame yourself for it. By the end of this, you'll know exactly why your attention fails, and how the Stoics would recognize this trap, even though it's wrapped in technology they never imagined. Let me show you what this looks like when you can't see it. Cale Garrison was a soldier before he became a student of philosophy. Sharp mind, sharper discipline. The kind of man who could hold a position for hours without moving, who could execute a plan through chaos. But 3 years after he left service, he found himself sitting at his desk at 11 p.m., exhausted, staring at a computer screen, unable to remember what he'd actually accomplished that day. He'd been busy, constantly. Emails, messages, calls, tasks. His calendar was full. His to-do list was checked. But the work that mattered, the project that would actually move his life forward, he hadn't touched it. Not really. Not with the kind of sustained attention it required. He opened his phone's screen time report, 4 hours and 37 minutes. He felt his chest tighten. He didn't remember using it for 4.5 hours. He remembered checking it, responding to things. But 4 hours? That's when Tiberian asked him a question that changed everything. When you pick up that device, who decided you would do that? Cale's first answer was automatic. I did. Did you? Or did it decide for you? He wanted to argue, but he sat with it. Actually sat with it. He started tracking not just how long he used his phone, but what triggered him to pick it up. The pattern made him sick. 60% of the time, he didn't choose to check it. Something interrupted him. A buzz. A ping. A red dot. A thought planted by the last notification that made him wonder if there might be another one. The device wasn't a tool he was using. It was a guest he'd invited into every moment of his life, who was slowly taking over his home. He remembered Epictetus. If a person gave away your body to some passerby, you'd be furious. Yet you hand over your mind to anyone who comes along, so they may abuse you, leaving it disturbed and troubled. Have you no shame in that? His mind had been handed over. Not to people, to systems designed to take it, Stay with this. This is the part most people look away from. Because it's not just about getting your time back. It's about what you're losing while you're gone. Every interruption has a cost. Research shows it takes an average of 23 minutes to return to deep focus after a distraction. 23 minutes. If you're interrupted every 15 minutes, you never arrive. You spend your entire day in the shallow end, treading water, wondering why you're exhausted but haven't moved. Kale started an experiment. He took one morning, and he removed every possible interruption. Phone in another room, face down, no email, no browser tabs, no music with lyrics, just him and the work that mattered. He set a timer for 90 minutes. The first 20 minutes were agony. His mind kept creating emergencies. What if someone needs you? What if you miss something important? What if there's news you should know? Every few minutes, a phantom vibration. The feeling that he should check. The pull was physical. His hand actually reached for the phone that wasn't there, muscle memory betraying how deep the pattern had become, how thoroughly the habit had wired itself into his nervous system. But he stayed. And around minute 25, something shifted. His mind stopped thrashing. The work started to pull him in, instead of him pushing toward it. Ideas connected. Solutions appeared. He looked up, and 2 hours had passed. Not 90 minutes. 2 hours. And he'd done more real work than he'd done in the previous 2 weeks. That's when he understood what Seneca meant. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. He wasn't wasting time by being lazy. He was wasting it by allowing it to be stolen in pieces too small to notice. The distraction isn't the enemy. The open door is. And he'd been holding it open, believing it was his fault, that wolves kept walking through. So here's the one thing. Tomorrow morning, before you do anything else, take the first hour of your day and make it impossible to be interrupted. Not hard. Impossible. Phone off, or in another room. No notifications. No tabs. No checking. One task, the one that actually matters. The one you keep saying you'll get to when you have time. You have time. It's just being taken in increments too small to feel like theft. Do this once, and you'll see the difference between distraction you're failing to resist and invasion you never consented to. That's when you stop blaming your focus and start guarding your mind. Like the Stoics did. Like it's the only thing that's actually yours. If this reframed how you see your attention, subscribe. Next time we go deeper into what you're actually protecting. Now that you see it, it gets worse.